Number 7,
Item-
Georgia Leadership.
Item 7 is requesting the board to approve the Georgia Leadership Institute for School Improvement, more commonly known as GLISI in the state of Georgia, professional services agreement and execution of the Principal Supervisor Initiative at a cost not to exceed $299,000. As part of the Wallace Foundation Principal Supervisor Initiative, GLISI has been identified as a partner to assist with the implementation of the initiative. Some of the deliverables associated with this work are as follows: a comprehensive assessment of central office practices, I should say current central office practices, recommendations for redesigning central office based on the findings, creating communities of practice among principals and central office leaders, 2 leadership development modules for incumbent principal supervisors, and the recruitment, selection, and hiring protocols for identifying high potential principal supervisors based on the principal supervisor competency model. Mr. Chairman, subject to any questions you or the board may have, I recommend item 7 to be placed on tonight's consent agenda.
Is there any discussion? Mr. Orson?
And it's going to be the same issue. It looks like it's our form, so it's also under this agenda item, so with the same caveat, which is fine putting on the consent agenda, but I'd like to have some time to talk to council about how this particular contract doesn't seem to have the same deliverables as opposed to an evaluation piece, but I'm noticing that our form seems to perhaps need some work in terms of protecting our investment for things we're paying for.
I would like to recognize Dr. Irwin. I shared with you that he would be a little late, so he has a question now.
Thank you for that recognition. Dr. Boza, just a quick question. About how long would it take for us to start seeing these deliverables that you just listed?
They're already happening, sir. We have already engaged in quite a bit of work with our regional superintendents, our principals and central office leaders. We've had several work sessions, but right now they have not been paid for their work.
Oh, I got you. All right, thank you.
Mr. Orson, am I hearing you say that the same solution for the previous agenda item that we can apply to the present one and leave it on the consent agenda, and if you have not gotten the response necessary, we can pull it tonight?
Absolutely.
Okay. Is there any opposition to placing this item on the consent agenda for this evening? I'm sorry, Dr. Moore.
Yeah, I just want to say one more thing. Again, I think we have to be careful because none of us are practicing law up here, of consulting with the attorneys to be able to decide what has already been decided. So I'd like for us to be careful of our movements and the actions and the things that we're doing and that we're taking. In that case, I would be a therapist and an executive coach, and I'm not here in that role. I'm here as a board member. So I'd like for us to be careful of what we're doing in these sidebar conversations with the attorneys that I don't think that we should be a part of in making sure the decisions that we're making as we go through. So I'd just like to say some caution to our board on in between time of having these conversations with our attorneys.
Thank you, Dr. Morley. Is there any opposition to placing this item on the consent agenda? Hearing none, this item will be placed on the consent agenda.